Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Phineas and Ferbs House. Here it is from all of the angles that you might want to possibly view it from. And just to let you know, the only reason that I made this house is because you guys requested it so heavily. I got plenty of requests to make this one. I hope that you guys are happy. I hope you enjoy it. If you do like this build, please do remember to smack that like button. It really helps me out and it inspires me to make more cartoon related builds. Speaking of which, if you do want to see more of them on the channel, then please do remember to comment down below, like and subscribe so you actually get to see them when they get suggested. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, why don't I actually show you how to make this thing? Whilst it might look a little bit complicated, it is not that hard. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. You'll need some birchwood planks, some sprucewood planks, sprucewood stairs, sprucewood slabs, blue stained glass pane or block, birchwood stairs, birchwood slabs, red hardened clay, and some wooden trapdoors. And for mainly the entire outside of the house, we'll need some hardened clay, jungle leaves, oak saplings, some bone meal, stone slabs, stone brick slabs, oak planks, lime hardened clay, and some green hardened clay. However, quite a few of those are optional. The main ones are what we have on the hotbar right now. Now, once you have each one of those materials, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and by the way, this entire house, including the garden, front and back, and the driveway, will fit into a 53 block coming across the front by a 42 block going towards the back area. So if you want, you can construct this very same area in your world because it is quite a big area. And if you do that, mark it out at the corners and start on the very front bottom left hand corner of the rectangular shape. Well, from this corner, we're going to want to count in to the right and we're going to find the 9th block. So this would be the first block, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. This is the 9th block. Then we want to count inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 to the right, 9 inwards. Now, we'll build the house. Start off with a row of 4 birchwood planks coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 in that very same position. We then want to take this 4th block and going backwards towards the back of the house, we want to do 4 upper left diagonals. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 4 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect that down to the ground. As a matter of fact, you can even fill it in a little bit if you like. If you just fill it in a little bit like this with your birchwood planks. And something that we can do whilst we are here is if you grab your hardened clay and place a row of hardened clay right on the outside of the tippity top birchwood plank block, extend it down to the ground like this, place a row of hardened clay to the left and to the right of that initial row. Then add 3 rows of hardened clay on top of this top row. 1, 2, 3. Extend up that center block, and then you will have the chimney present on the left-hand side of the build. It will save us doing it later. The next thing we want to do is, continuing on from where we kind of left off, which is this block that we connected down to the ground earlier, well, coming across the back of Phineas and Ferb's home, we want to do this sequence of blocks going like left across the house. We want to do 2 birch wood, 1, 2. We then want to place 2 glass, 1, 2. Spruce wood, gap of 1, another spruce wood, then 2 glass, 1, 2. Then we want to do 3 birch wood planks, so that'll be 1, 2, and 3, like this. You can actually make that 4, and the reason for the distinction is because we can now take this 4th block that we have right here. You can take this 4th block and you can extend it coming towards the build until it is in line with where we started earlier. So just drag it forward those blocks until it is in line with where we started earlier. We then want to take this 4th block and we want to go left of it. We actually want to go left of it by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. We then want to extend that block towards us by 1 block. Then up on top of it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do 3 up left diagonals. 1, 2, 3. We then want to do 3 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then we want to extend downwards. So we just want to extend down like this. And then we actually want to go backwards from this block, the one that hits the ground, and then left. So kind of connecting where you did from the very beginning. So you'll end up with a shape that should look very, very similar to this. Now, what you can do next is you can come to this block right here. It's important that we establish the shape of the house a little bit first. Well, you want to come to this block right here on the corner, and you want to extend this block outwards towards you by 1, like this. We then want to go up on top of this block by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. We then want to take this block and looking sideways at it like this, going towards the back of the house, we want to do 6 upper left diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 8 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect down to the ground. You can even connect all the way back to where you kind of like first started, like you can connect to the front. This is the sort of house shape that we should have at the moment, and if you like, you can even fill in this part of the house. You can just fill in this wall to make it a nice solid shape. I just think that it's nice to kind of establish what sort of shape the house is going to be whilst we're at these early planning stages, because there's a few different parts of this house. It's actually broken down into like 4 different parts. It's kind of a complicated house, but it is kind of easy to make as long as you do it properly. So now that that is kind of walled off, we can focus on this left-hand part of the house. We'll complete it before we move on. So what we want to do is, first of all, focus on this entranceway. So this entranceway, we're going to want to fill it in a bit. To do this, we're going to want to take this archway, and we're going to want to place underneath the top center block a birch wood. Underneath it, a blue stained glass pane. Underneath that, we actually want to place a birchwood slab. Then left and right of this slab, it's easier if we have blocks placed, but we actually want to place 2 upside down opposing birchwood stairs like this. Left and right of those stairs, we want to place birchwood planks, and we want to connect them down to the ground to form this shape. It's kind of like a nice archway. We want to fill in left and right of the glass with birch wood, and then behind the archway shape, we actually want to create a red hardened clay door. So basically, just filling in the blocks necessary to achieve this effect, we want to create a door space. You can even have 2 empty open blocks in the center if you want to use the house. We also want to place 2 spruce wood planks at the base of the archway, left and right. So we want to kind of have that little buffer there. What we also want to do is we want to fill in, once we've done that, we want to fill in the walls a little bit. So directly right of this archway, there is a window. On top of these 2 center birch wood blocks, we want to place 2 blue stained glass pane. And on top of that pane, blue glass. And on top of that, we want to place birchwood planks, like this. Place spruce wood slab in front of the bottom 2 glass panes, and then build up the area using birchwood planks. You want to do 1, 2, 3 rows. This makes everywhere as high as the entrance, like this. We also want to come to the back of the build here, and we want to do this. So on top of all of the glass and all of the spruce wood, we want to add, and let me make sure that I get the right measurement for this. Last thing I want to do is get this wrong, is we want to, on top of the spruce wood, we want to add 2 additional rows. 1, 2, 1, 2. On top of the glass, 2 more rows. 1 and 2. And on the left as well, 1 and 2. Place a glass in between the top row of spruce wood. Then we want to place birch wood planks everywhere else around this, like this. So we want to place birch wood planks around this, and then we actually just want to place a row of birch wood planks on top of this. And just left of the actual entrance, you'll see that we have some blocks missing. Build up the surrounding area until everywhere is smooth. So it wants to look like this from the top. A better, more useful shape would actually be to show you this, and also to show you this as well. So that is all of the detail associated with the left-hand side of the house. Later on, we'll be adding roofs, but for now, we're not going to be doing anything. So that's that left-hand bit complete. Give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on this area to the right. So the part of the house that is going to expand off from this big triangular-ish shape. Start with the front bottom right hand birch wood plank block, this one. We want to go right of this by 12 or by 11 with the birch wood plank. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Extend this 11th block forward by 2, 1, 2. Then to the right by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend this 8th block backwards until it is in line with the back of the house. You can see it over there. We can even connect it to the back of the house as well. So you can just connect it all the way over, like that. And once you've got that taken care of, we can actually kind of stencil in the roof shape for the right-hand part of the house as well. We might as well. So we're going to take this block that we extended backwards and connected. We want to take this block and we want to add 3 more birchwood planks on top of it. 1, 2, and 3. We then want to, from this block, do 8 upright diagonals towards the back of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to do 8 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect down, and they have the shape of the back of the house, pretty much. What we now want to do is we want to focus on the front of the house, because that is a lot more difficult than the rest of it. As a matter of fact, no, guys, what I'm going to do, and I'm bouncing around with this lot, is we're going to come to the very back right-hand corner of the house, which is here. This is the back right-hand corner. I'm sure that you guys recognize that. We want to take this 8th diagonal that we just connected down, and from this 8th diagonal, we actually want to go left of it by 6 with the birchwood plank. So out the side of the house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect that block down. But you also want to take this 6th block right here and coming towards the front of the house this time, we want to do 4 up left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 4 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect downwards. So, whoa, that's the wrong block. Connect downwards. That is also the wrong block. Either side. 3rd time's a charm. So you want to have something which should look like this. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to take the block that we just connected down to the ground, and we want to connect it to the house. And we also want to take the block that connects to the house. We want to go up on top of it by 3. 1, 2, and 3. We want to connect it to the right. We want to place inside of the left-hand space, going from top to bottom, spruce wood planks, and the right-hand space, going from top to bottom, spruce wood planks. We want to fill the center of it in with blue stained glass pane. We want to place spruce wood slabs in front of the bottom of the window, the 2 center glass blocks, and we're also going to place trapdoors in front of the spruce wood plank blocks. That position and that position, like that. Nice little window. There's also a window on the right hand side of this build. So if you if you basically add in a row of birchwood planks to connect the bottom front to back, and then you take the right hand side and you add a row of birchwood planks going from top to bottom, then this next row coming forwards, you want to place 2 glass coming from the bottom, coming upwards like this. Fill in the rest of this shape using birchwood plank blocks like this, all the way up to the top. Then add a simple spruce wood slab in front of the bottom of the window. There's just a little window there. That's all it is. Then, the back of this is actually a garage, so we're going to be filling this in using spruce wood stairs, and all we're doing is we are placing a layer of spruce wood stairs here in this position to create a garage door effect. So 1 row inwards, 3 rows of stairs will see you through. Now, once you've got that sorted out, I think that we're also, yeah, we'll work on the side of the house a little bit more. So there's also more detail on the side of the house. If you come all the way up to the apex of the roof, which pretty much just means the very point at the top of the roof, you want to take this birchwood plank block and you want to place a birchwood plank underneath it, like this. Then we're going to place another row of birchwood planks directly underneath that, so fill in the first 2 rows coming down. Take the 3 center blocks and place 2 rows of glass pane underneath it, so that's 1 row, 2 rows. Then place a row of spruce wood slabs in front of the bottom row of glass. Then, if you come to the bottom left-hand side of the house, if you place, going right of this like empty space here on top of this row of birchwood, if you place this row going right, spruce wood plank, 2 glass, spruce wood plank, add another row of all of those materials on top of themselves, place a row of spruce wood slab underneath the window with wooden trapdoors on the sides of the window, left and right, like this. And then you can actually just proceed to fill in completely, or just filling in the gaps. I mean, you don't have to completely fill it in if you don't want. You can just completely fill in this side. And those are all of the details associated with this particular side of the house. We're actually doing very, very well here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure whether you realize, but we filled in the very left-hand side of the house completely. We filled in the very right-hand side of the house completely, and we're not even 20 minutes in. This is going very, very well. So we want to have something which should look like this. Very, very simple, and coming towards the back, like that. So now, we just have the big main chunker house. This big thing right here. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the harder part. Yeah, we'll work on the more complicated part of this. So, let me show you. First of all, we're going to start off on the left-hand side here, the big house, and we're going to start off on top of this row of birchwood plank. You might remember it, it's a row of 11 that we place going right. Well, on top of this row, going from left to right, we want to place a spruce wood plank. We then want to go right, and we want to place a row of 7 blue stained glass pane going right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then a spruce wood plank, and then 2 birchwood going right. Then you want to add another row of that on top of itself. So everywhere you place birch, everywhere you placed spruce wood planks, place spruce wood planks, and everywhere that you place glass, do the same. Then on top of this, you're going to want to add, and this is quite a few rows, you're going to want to add 3 rows of birch wood. So this is going to be 1 row, completely on top of this, and then 2 rows, like this. And actually, it's just going to be 2 rows. I'm sorry, it's just 2 rows. I did get a little bit confused, but it's just 2 rows. It's not too late. Then, completely underneath the window, we want to place a layer of spruce wood slab. And in front of the window, left and right, we want to place wooden trapdoors, like this. So, like that. Perfecto. Then, we have a little bit of an interesting bit above the window. So, we want to place, going right, of this, like, pointy up birchwood plank block, we want to place a birchwood plank to the right of this, and then we want to place one on top of this, like that. We then want to do 4 upper right diagonals, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. We then want to do 4 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, 3, and that'd be 4. Then we want to connect down like this. Then we want to fill this area in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 5 middle blocks, or we can add a birchwood plank either side, left and right, and then we can fill the center 5 middle blocks in with glass, and then add another layer of glass on top of this. Then fill in the top and left-hand side of this in using birchwood planks like this. If you just fill the top and left-hand side of this in with birchwood planks to create this nice triangular effect. We then left and right of the window want to place wooden trapdoors because they have wooden shutters next to their windows. You can even add yourself a nice little bit of spruce wood if you like, but it kind of blends into the roof a little too much. That's why I haven't added it myself. The next thing we're going to do is this little bit on the right. So this little bit on the right here, we're going to want to take this front left-hand corner block on the right-hand side of the house. I'm sure that you guys will be able to find it, no problem. Well, on top of this block, we want to add 3 birch wood. 1, 2, and 3, like this. You can even add a row of 3 coming directly behind it. In this space, we want more windows. So we want to, on top of these empty blocks, going from left to right, place a spruce wood plank, 5 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, spruce wood plank. Add the same on top of what you've just made, so add another layer on top of the same. Then add a layer of birchwood planks directly on top of that, and add a layer of spruce wood slabs underneath, and some wooden trapdoors left and right of the window, like so. Wonderful. Next, we have to place, like what we have here on the left, we want a similar thing on the right, but the positioning is tricky. So, directly above the window, on top of the window, we want to place a layer of spruce wood stairs, like this. So, if that makes sense, layer of spruce wood stairs going from left to right, on top of the position of the window. We then want to take each one of these blocks, or we want to take, better yet, the middle 5 blocks, and we want to place a row of birchwood planks directly behind the middle 5, so where the actual glass is positioned. We then want to place a layer of birchwood planks on top of that row of 5. We then want to take this left-hand birchwood plank and we want to add 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 upright diagonals. 1, 2. 2 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2. Connect down. We then want to add 2 layers of glass at the base. 1, and then this will be 2. Give me a sec. There we go. Fill the top of this in using birchwood planks like this. And there you have the window that is present on this particular side of the house. That is absolutely wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually really cracking on with this. Now, once that's sorted out, we're going to head all the way over to the back of the house. Yeah, that's right, the back of the house. Very easy back here. There's not that much going on. So, on the back of the house, we're going to start on the left, just right at this garage. So, we want to do this. Just right of where this garage is, we want to place a row of birch wood to the right of the garage, like top to bottom, like measuring equal with the garage. We then want to grab our red hardened clay, and we want to place a row of 3 red hardened clay going right of this upper birchwood plank block. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3. Extend this downwards like this. Knock out the birchwood plank blocks at the bottom, place red hardened clay in there. As a matter of fact, what you can even do, it's completely up to you, we didn't actually even have this material on us, you can even knock out the bottom 2 center blocks and place a door in there if you like. That's the back door, if you haven't gathered. What we then want to do is we want to go right of the door on top of these birchwood plank blocks. We want to go right by 2 with the birchwood planks. 1, 2. Then 2 glass. 1, 2. 2 birchwood planks. 1, 2. 6 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go right by 2 of the birchwood planks, 1, 2. Add another layer of glass on top of all of the glass. So on top of your row of glass, you want to add more glass. On top of the birchwood planks, you actually want to add more birchwood planks. And you actually want to add 2 rows. So you've added 1 row in between all the glass, but then there wants to be another row stacked directly on top of everything, making the entire back part of this nice and smooth. Wonderful. Underneath the windows, we're going to place a little bit of spruce wood slab, like this. And I don't think that there is anything else. That is pretty much all she wrote. Now, that is, believe it or not, most of the detail associated with the house. Now, the next bit, one of the least fun bits that you will encounter with this house, the hardest bit, you might say, is going to be doing the roof, because there's loads of them. Loads and loads of roofs, guys. So we're going to break it up. We're going to do the roof on the left-hand side first, then the right-hand side, then we'll do the middle bit. So, the roof on the left-hand side, very simple principles. We want to have rows of spruce wood stairs in line with the top of the birchwood frame. However, on the front, we have to wrap around and place spruce wood stairs left and right of the entrance, like this. The spruce wood also wants to overhang the front of the house and the sides of the house, any sides of the house it's on, it wants to overhang it by 1 row. We also want to place upside down spruce wood stairs underneath the overhanging part of the roof. So like that, so it looks nice. It also wants to join on, and it also wants to wrap around and feed onto the left-hand side of the house here. So where the chimney is, it also wants to wrap around here, and of course it overhangs. And we also have upside down stairs to add as well. And as you can see, it very simply and very naturally and very logically wraps around and connects all of the parts of the roof together. You've got to do this quite a lot. What you even have to do, and this is, well, I'll show you once we've actually added all of the roof in, like all of the stairs. The center part of the top of the roof is made out of spruce wood slabs. So that is what the top part of the roof will actually be. So you can see this is how the front part looks. It just wraps around, like I said, very logically. Fits in everywhere, it's nice and smooth. We even want to extend this over as well, like here. And anywhere that you have a middle part of the roof, it wants to be made out of spruce wood slabs, like this. Whoops, just made an error. It wants to be made like this, and this is also the center part of the roof because that is the point in which it is highest. So that wants to be put there, like that. And then we just have to do the back, and the back is considerably easier. But once again, it's like it's in top of the, it's just above the windows here, in line with the top of the birchwood frame, and it overhangs the side of the house by 1, wherever it can. It doesn't, like, you don't break blocks to do it, and then you place upside down stairs underneath it. And just this little left-hand part of the house, it's kind of like a difficult part of roof, but we also have some more difficult parts of roof to add as well. I mean, this is kind of hard. The middle part is actually really kind of tricky. We'll actually have to add another row in, but that is the left-hand part of the roof. It looks really nice, doesn't it? It flows very well. It looks great. We're going to make the entire roof look like this. So let's take care of the back first of all. The back part of the roof, once again, of the big part of the build, it wants to be a row of spruce wood stairs traveling from one end of the house to the other. It even comes out as far as the garage and overhangs by 1. The garage roof is also very small, functions in the same way. It just runs down and sits in front of the house, and it also overhangs the side of the house where it does. And I don't know what else to tell you. You also want to place your upside down spruce wood stairs underneath the parts of the house that indeed overhang. So like this. And we're going to place upside down spruce wood stairs here and here, like this. And we even want one in this position too. And we're going to just have it so that the roof connects to the house once again, hopefully in a very logical way, in a way that makes complete sense and doesn't have you scratching your head. The back part of the roof is a lot easier than the front because the front part of the roof has all of these overhangs and stuff, and it has all of the like complicated parts of the window, the second story windows. It's a little bit tricky, so that's where things get a little, well, like I said, a little bit tricky. There's no other word for it. The front of the roof is definitely harder, so that's hence why we're going to take care of the back, just because it's a bit easier. We also want to have a row of spruce wood slabs in this position as well, just for the center part of the garage. And of course, we also want it so that these overhang these stairs, and anytime that we have overhanging stairs, we of course want to have upside down spruce wood stairs underneath them. So we're going to connect this part of the roof together, left to right like this. I believe that we also have to make this side of the roof overhang. This is actually one of the longest roofs that I've ever had to make in my channel's history, I think. I don't think that I've had to make a roof that connects in so many different ways in so many different places that it's so big, especially not for a cartoon build. I mean, not even the Mystery Shack had a big giant roof as complicated as this. Well, I guess it kind of did. It has those giant signs. But we also want to make it overhang on this side as well, because it has to look nice, guys. I mean, that's the entire point of this. We do want it to look all fine, and we want to have our upside down stairs underneath this. And once this has been taken care of, that is when things are going to get tricky, I predict. It's going to get very, very tricky. But we also want to have our middle of the road spruce wood slab just sitting right on top of the roof, and that should all connect very, very nicely. Yep, that's looking very, very good on this side as well. And just to check it, it connects very, very nicely on that side, which leaves, of course, this part, this abomination. So let me show you how this all goes together. So we're going to begin on the right hand side of the roof. We're going to place a row of spruce wood stairs that comes all the way down the right hand side part of the roof like this. It's even going to sit in front of the top of the window like this, coming all the way over to the left. And so is this block, which means that the roof just connects here, and it comes through the other side like this, and it also wants to come here, here, here. And it might be easier if we actually add the roofs to the second story. So like we even have roofs on the sides of the part of the house that like the second story of the house. So that we have roofs on the side here. And these also want to overhang with the spruce wood stairs, as all of the other parts of the roof do. And we want to place upside down spruce wood underneath all of the overhanging parts like that. We want to come to this side and we want the same thing. We want to have a row of spruce wood stairs on the sides of this triangular shape here, like this, just on the sides of the roof like that. And they too also want to overhang by one row, like this. And of course, we're also going to want to place a row of upside down spruce wood stairs underneath these like this. And here, here, there we go. So that's looking pretty good. However, what we do want to do is we also want to have the roof running down the left-hand side, like that. And we also want to continue the roof like it's kind of tricky. So we want to have the roof come down like, it's so tricky to do, like here, and it wants to actually come out as far as here. So, okay, directly underneath the second story window, here in this position, we want to have a row of birch wood planks. So directly underneath the window, going from left to right until you hit the right wall like this, we want to have a row of birch wood planks, which will allow us to place a row of spruce wood stairs directly in front of it. This will allow you to connect both sides of the roof together. This will look a lot more natural, and you'll be able to place like your upside down spruce wood stairs as necessary, and it'll also allow you to connect like the particular sides of the roof together. So maybe we don't have that there, maybe we just have another stair here, and it'll allow you to actually place the left hand side of the roof. It'll make it basically so that everything connects together as it should. So it should look a lot like this, the left hand side of the roof, and we also want to have these stairs placed as well. So the row of birch wood planks is very, very important, because otherwise you've got nowhere to actually place the stairs, if that makes sense. It has to be placed underneath the window, and that's pretty much the trickiest part of it. We're also going to have to reinforce the windows by placing rows of birch wood directly behind the window. So we're just going to have to place a few rows, and this will prevent us getting any holes in the house. But we're just going to continue to connect these roofs together exactly how you would expect. I mean, that's all I keep saying. Like, hopefully it all connects together very, very logically, and it wouldn't be too difficult for you to figure it out by yourself. Of course, I'm going through this process with you because I understand that this is a little bit trickier than the average bear, but it should piece together in such a way that you're not scratching your head constantly. Like, if you've already skipped past this video, if you're like, I don't need this guy's help, I can do it myself, then hopefully you shouldn't have any problem with that. And as long as it looks good like that, as long as it looks quite good, then there's no issue. I'm actually going to remove the upside down block here. I'm going to place this in, and I'm going to place a sideways facing block here just to match both sides of the roof. There we go, so that's independent. And then I'm just going to piece this together as well. I'm just going to patch everything together, make sure there's no holes in the thing, and then we can talk about the outside of the house. So we can talk about like where you might want to place certain things, whether you're going to want to have like a bit of a driveway and stuff, or whether you really are just bothered about the actual house itself. I mean, because you can decorate this as much as you like, you can do the outside as completely as much as you want, but like there is a certain point where it's like, where do you stop with this stuff? It's like, where do you stop trying to make the house so realistic, and where do you just draw the line with that? And I think that I've actually struck quite a balance, especially with the first part of the house that you would have seen. So now I'm going to make it so that the front parts of the house, the front parts of the roof overhang, because they do want to overhang. This has been such a long part of the video, guys. We put the house up so quickly, and the roof has taken such an incredible amount of time to do. I actually can't believe how long it has taken. So those are those parts, and then I'm just going to do the bit that overhangs. And as some of you might have already noticed, we haven't added the spruce wood slabs that run up the center of the windows. So here and here. Oh no, there we go, that's one, and yeah, there we go. So now all we want to do is the rows of spruce wood slab running up the center of the window in this position, and the center of the window also in this position, and that will give you something that should look like that. And that is absolutely perfect, guys. That is what the house should look like everywhere. I think that's the entire place done. Yeah, that's it. So, and well guys, that is the house pretty much complete. There are a few more things that you might want to do that are very, very minor, which are best displayed through me showing you the very first original version of this house. So if you want to add any more detail to the house, let me show you some other things that are completely optional that you may or may not want to do. So a few small things which will absolutely improve the look of your house. First of all, we have this pathway out in front of the house. There's a path that is actually raised because the actual Phineas and Ferb house is built on a little bit of a verge. There's actually like a path which breaks down and takes you to the street. I've emulated that by using stone slab and stone bricks. It makes a nice addition to the house. A tiny little small detail is jungle leaves in the corner of the house, in the front, roughly in the middle, where the big part of the house separates into the slightly smaller part of the house. Very small feature, adds a lot. There is a big giant fence that goes around the back of Phineas and Ferb's house in this shape. It starts on the left hand side of the house, it comes all the way back, as far back as you want, it comes across the back of the house, it comes as far as the garage, so the very edge of the house, it comes towards the garage, then it takes a very drastic left turn, and it actually comes in, and then it starts to make its way towards the garage again, leaving enough room for a bit of a path and a little bit of a fence and a gate that separates the house and the garage, and it makes it for an interesting shape like that. It's kind of an interesting shaped fence. I'm sure that you'll be able to emulate that yourselves. There is a giant tree in the back of the garden. This is not a giant tree, but if you wanted to, if you were motivated, you could indeed build a massive tree in the back of the garden. There is a little bit of patio work out of the French doors, which are on the back of the entrance of the house. There is a path which comes out of the back door, wraps around the back of the garage, and actually comes round the side of the house and comes towards the front of the house. I believe there's actually also a car meant to be there as well if you wanted to add that. And last but not least, I always enjoy adding artificial grass to the build. These are rows of lime hardened clay and green hardened clay built in succession. The ratio is one green hardened clay to every 2 lime hardened clay. Built like that, in strips, looks fantastic, especially for cartoon related builds. It really does add a little something. And ladies and gentlemen, those are all of the optional extras that you might want to add to the house. Do all of that, don't do all of that, it's completely up to you. I'm sure that you'll be able to do all of that by yourself. You don't really need a guide to do the rest of that because all of that is very subjective as to whether you even want to add that anyway. Completely up to you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please remember to smack that like button. It really helps me out. It honestly does. It helps me out the channel. It makes me happy. Honestly, it really does. I'd appreciate it no end. If you do like, consider subscribing. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll probably won't regret it. Can't promise that, but you probably won't regret it. It'll mean that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box, and if you click the little bell next to the subscription button, it double ensures that that'll actually happen. Comment down below, what else would you like to see next? Do you want to see some more cartoon related houses? This was requested heavily. That's the only reason that it appeared on the channel, hence why I've made it. And maybe whatever else you want to see personally might appear on the channel next if you want it enough. That's how it works. Hopefully you guys do that. Leave a comment down below. And if you want to check out any more of my work, cartoon related houses, all sorts of weirdness, modern houses, suburban houses, real life stuff, cartoon movie related builds, check out the card system in the description below. Flick through the channel, just search my name into YouTube, TSMC tutorial, followed by whatever you might want, cave house, cartoon house. It'll show up, trust me. I've been here a while. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.